We back for another man-to-man conversation.
Yes, sir.
Come on now, where we talk like gods.
Well, we talk like guys. Say it with some bass in your voice. You
I'm on my smooth, man. I'm on my smooth right now, man. I just came back from Europe, man, from Spain and Paris. You feel me? Just sweet. Francophone.
Yeah.
Tout I do.
We live.
Ça va?
I don't see the link yet.
We live.
All right, we live, man. So you just got back from Spain, huh?
Yeah, it was
Yeah. How was the Spain visit?
Spain was a vibe.
What was the highlight of Spain?
Highlight. It was a lot of highlights actually. You know, it was just really the elegance, the decadence of it all. You know, out there with some superstars, some of the top football players. You know, out there, football, of course, is soccer. Some of the top football players in the world, literally, like those who are now and those who are up and coming. You know, it was a lot of people that was out there. The brother Jazz Prince was out there, DeVito, Brandon Marshall, of course, my brother Memphis Depay.
Yeah.
Happy belated born day to you. Very classy, beautiful event. It was a lot of solid people in one room. You know, sometimes you got to travel this earth to make certain connections. You know, and I decided to take that trip myself to go celebrate with some of my brothers, man. You got to have friends in high places and all across the planet.
Yeah.
So that, and then, you know, in Spain has a very rich history. And this is the thing that people forget about Europe. Europe is not just the history of white folks, right? Europe is the history of Europeans. But there are melanated Europeans as well, you know, nobles throughout time. Specifically in Spain, you're looking at the Blackamoors, you know, or the Moors, who were African, right, descendant, and they ruled Spain at a point in time, right? I believe it was 711 AD where they came and conquered Spain and ruled it. So when you go out there, you can see, you know, Islamic depictions or Islamic influence, right, within the architecture and the designs all throughout it. But you got to know what you're looking for in history, otherwise you won't see yourself. You know, when I went to Paris and I went to the Louvre.
You went to what?
Paris. When I was in Paris and we went to the Louvre, I ain't just do push-ups in front of the Louvre. We actually went in. Yeah. And we was able to visit the whole entire, well, it takes a whole day if you want to go visit the whole Louvre because there's so many floors and there's so much history that they stole and put in there. But when you go visit, like you can go to the Persians. When you think of Persians, what do you think? Like what color? You think like light-skinned brothers, right? Yeah. No, on the walls of the Persian doors and gates, they show the soldiers and they all look like you. They look like me, dark-skinned brothers, you know what I'm saying? Lined up with cornrows, you feel me? Soldiers at the gates. And this is like all throughout different dynastic periods, whether it's British, whether it's Europe, whatever it is, you're going to see people who look just like you. Because even if they try to lighten it, it's still like evident. Right. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it probably was a little darker at first. But it's like, unless you go to the museums for yourself, you won't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this is why, like, whether we're going to Africa or whether we're going to Europe, no matter where we go on this planet Earth, it's our history. It's just you were only taught about a whitewashed version of history, so you believe that these places are only for them. Man, you a fool if you think that we ain't have a hand in everything.
Still got a hand in everything.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know, me and you was joking about this before we got on camera.
Yes.
So I put the video up of, you know, why they mad to this day. What started it all, right? So Dr. West was the first person to put me on to the knowledge about I think it was the god Men. And it's a statue where, and I talk about this all the time, it represents fecundity.
He trying to be, come on finish the story, but yeah, get to it.
Bruh, relax. Childish. It's about fecundity, right? Fecundity is when you have a lot of ideas, thoughts circulating, fertility in the mind and fertility in the body, right? You know, one of the ancient symbols of God was the bull, right? The black bull, right? That bull goes through many representations, Allah, but that bull represents strong fertility, right? Because the bull is male, right? The cow is female, right? That's why you always see the cow with the nipples, right? But the bull, like I am, a Taurus, taurine energy, right? That represents that God energy. So, when the Europeans would put statues of themselves up and their gods, whether it was the generals, the soldiers, number one, they were super zesty looking. All their paintings were zesty, right? And they would be naked in most of their depictions of themselves. And I can tell that they didn't know that, the Africans had it going on over there. You feel me? Whether you're talking about before the 1990s or early 2000s, there was no thick white women on this planet Earth, really, right?
Right.
Flat back board. You feel me? That was
Sitting
it.
down all they life.
Yeah, the Cindy Crawfords and the Drew Barrymores and the whatever other one you want to draw up in your mind. Conclusion: there was no derriere thickness. There was no circumference
the
measurement.
thin was in.
Yeah, the thin was in like a thin mint. You feel me? There was no back on Becky. So, their body was not a representation of the standard, right, of attraction, specifically, especially not in Africa, right? They ain't have nothing on the sisters, is what I was saying, right? But then when you look at the European male, specifically the Caucasian male, I would say, not only were they jealous of the brilliance in the mind, because they had to go to the mystery schools in Egypt, right, to get certain knowledge. They was looking at the civilizations of the pyramids and, ancient Sumeria, right, as you go into the knowledge that Dr. Wesley tells us, those Africans, you know what I mean, they came out of Africa, you feel me, into ancient Sumeria. Those was black men with all that knowledge, right? But they went over there to Africa and seen something they didn't want to see. Because they thought they was the man in the jungle. They thought they was man. They thought that they was kicking it. You could tell they didn't know because they had statues that was naked.
Right.
And they nakedness, they over there with little swimmers like this, little pinkies. Little pinky in their brains. You feel me? And you would be like, wouldn't y'all be embarrassed to put these statues up of yourselves?
Yeah.
You would think that they would be completely embarrassed. Like they like this on the statues just posing like they got it going on.
So what we was talking about,
and they went, no. They went to Africa and they found out that the melanin man, you feel me, populated this planet Earth with something different because we mastered the spear.
Yeah.
You feel me? And we was out there slinging with the spear and they was mad that, you feel me, the Mandingo was out there winning. And then once they seen that, they knew that it was nothing that they could do to reverse history. They knew that they had to be the second.
They've been mad ever since.
They've been mad ever since. That's what started the wars. Because you got to imagine if they women, the first time the women seen that. First time the women seen some African brothers get brought over, you feel me? And they got a microphone just moving about. Them sisters was trying to mic check everything. They was trying to mic check one too.
Say, what
you know
is
what I'm
that?
saying? And unfortunately, the fetishes of the European or Caucasians at this time, they was sick as well. They was trying to mic check as well. The brothers ain't have a goddamn chance, man. So this what started it all. You know what I mean? Our mind and our body has always been the epitome of this world.
Yeah.
They said that like the feds.
Yeah.
Wire came out. Damn. All right, let's go.
Maybe, but yeah. But that ain't what we was talking about, though. But I'm going to let you tell the story because it's your story. But my thing was, right, he right about everything he said. Until I got on his story one day. I wasn't expecting it. my dog at the museum, and he just filming all of the statues, right? All the white men. And I'm like, pause. And then I go to the last story. He got the black guy on there. Like, yeah, see, this is what it's. That's another pause moment. Pause. Don't go over to Paris and change.
It wasn't a black man. It was a statue of the god, right? And the statue of the god. It's what they call it, the mother of the bulls, right? Or Amen, and it represents the erect black man. So yes, it shows an erect penis, and then it got its fist up at the same time. So it represents, right, the mind and the body. So listen, that's the god of fertility, the god of ideas. What you want from me? That's what it was. It's like You go all around. I'm talking about they got statues everywhere though. It's like nothing but statues of Europeans with small little pinkies hanging, and shit was ridiculous.
What's something that you learned from that museum outside of that? What's something else that you learned that you think more Americans should know about?
Well, I think just the overt whitewashing of history is something that we forget about, right? Like overt whitewashing of history. Like you got to rethink every period of time that you ever thought about, and you think you know the story, right? You may think that these is British nobles, or you may think them a king of Scotland or something, and these might have actually been black men. The whole story that you heard in school, right? And so it's like you have to remember that history has been deeply and harshly whitewashed. And most of those stories that they tell are your stories, right? Those were black men, right? When you go to ancient Samaria, black men. So when you talk about the Sumerians and the Anunnakis and all of that, black men. You talking about Persia, you talking about you see the movie 300, they had the Persians come, but it looked like the little zesty dude. No, reverse that. The 300s were the zesty ones. That's why they was all by themselves and there was no women on when they was training, because they had nothing but man-boy lovers. That's how they operated. You feel me? But the reality of it was them Persians were black soldiers. You go to Spain, the Moors was taking over. I'm talking about everywhere you go look all throughout the planet, all throughout antiquity, it's whitewashed. You know what I mean? And you got to keep that in the mind because it's a psychological operation. Number one, that makes you think that, a lot of these advancements and these stories of this brilliance, whether you're talking about Beethoven, whether you're talking about, even Socrates is said to have been, a dark black man, right? There's so much that you can go throughout history and see, and they copied so much of African and Egyptian civilization, and it shows you, like when you go through the museum, you'll see these different dynasties that got like all this Egyptian influence, but they not Egyptian. But it will show you that they blatantly copied the Egyptian to look like them, right? And it was like they seen something so brilliant. The way we admire it today is the way they admired it back then, right? Like all of them would go into Egypt and go study into the mystery school, right? And they would learn. They were supposed to not divorce the secrets, but they did, right? And so this is how all of them got to learn. Ancient Babylon, those are black people. You know what I'm saying? Babylonians, those are black people. Pythagoras, come on, man. You think that the Pythagorean theorem was found right before 2,000 years before so-called Pythagoras found it?
Yeah, which is proof that black people can run the whole civilization by themselves.
Man, we've been running it. We just don't run evil civilizations.
Exactly.
They weren't one. Like America is a country in its basis that has never had a decade without war. Right? This is hard to call it a civilization. Like Professor James Smalls is talking about how there's never really truly been a Caucasian civilization because it's always been war. Right? A civilization has to have peace. Civilization has to have the time of enlightenment and thriving, right? To be civilized. But America can't call itself civilized. It's been at war civilly, right? And it's been at war globally.
Speaking of that, we can get right into it, right? Now, I don't know if any of the viewers are familiar with the name Erik Prince, but in layman's terms, he's the guy. Like if you ever have a sister and she say, "I'm gonna go and get my brother," he the guy you don't want to meet. So Erik Prince, he run the military, right? Can you break down who Erik Prince is real quick for the people?
He founded the private military, BlackRock. BlackRock, if not BlackRock, but that's not BlackRock, but what's the
I got it right here. 1 second.
Oh, Blackwater, I believe it is.
Yep, Blackwater.
Yeah, Blackwater. You know what I mean? They always gonna use that black though. You feel me? BlackRock, Blackwater, because it's knowledge that you gotta understand. Because they even run their game on occult knowledge. But Blackwater is a private military contracting. And if you ever seen the movies, a lot of time they always refer to Blackwater, right? A lot of time it's these ex-soldiers, you feel me? They get these jobs, but they basically like, guerrilla military, you feel me? Military for hire. Our government uses them, other government uses them. Very dangerous, very powerful, real deal people, you feel me? So he was openly and candidly talking about colonizing Africa.
Yeah.
And you know, if these are the conversations he get to have publicly, I imagine the conversations strategically and operations that they run privately, right? Here's the thing, though. It's like my African brothers and sisters and people, melanated people across the planet Earth, it's real out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad at what the brother said. He can say what he want to. What are we gonna do? Right? At this point in time, nobody's gonna feel bad for melanated people. It's your job to get the African status at a higher level. Because here's the thing about Africa that I don't even talk about a lot. It's some parts of the way that it operates you should be ashamed. There's no magical way to just look at Africa. This is reality. Blood gets shed, wars get fought, right? There's a technological advancement, and there's no reason now to where the leaders, those who have the money, the power, the influence in Africa, because you got to remember, people always, it's this interesting thing in America where we feel like there's responsibility to rise up Africa. The responsibility number one is for Africans to rise up Africa. It don't even matter what we think on the outside. We ain't even got all our stuff together in America.
But of course, Africa should take heed to what those colonizers did in the past. You know, to do business with them nowadays.
But they leaders are corrupt, bro. They leaders don't care. They leaders are some of the most corrupt. You know, it's like what he said was some facts, though. He said, like, man, they want to go take shopping trips. You know what I'm saying, in Europe and do like everybody else. He said they got corrupt leadership. He wasn't lying on that. He know that they can go pay him. He know that they can go take over. Yeah. That's an African problem that they have to solve, right? Like, even there's, like, you go to Ghana, you go to the airport, right? It shouldn't be in this experience like this is some second world country. Why not just put the money in to fix the infrastructure? That's a problem that the president has to solve. All the people that we glorify, hey, these people are billionaires, they rich. Ain't nobody putting no money in changing no infrastructure. That's not no white, no Chinese, no Eric Prince stopping them for changing that, right? Why is so many foreigners got to invest infrastructure, create schools and water wells in these places? Why is it not the millionaires and billionaires themselves doing that, right? Because it's corruption all throughout it, right? That colonization, the constitution that they have is bad, bad, bad. So there's a lot of Africans got to progress to modern day, right? So that they can have technological, right, revolutions, and they can have revolutions that change past these old systems. And this is why the danger of going out there and spreading even more Western ways, because I'm going to tell you the most dangerous thing I think that's going to happen in Africa is that they ever sell out to Western moral systems, right? Right now,
that's what it's looking like. They've been meeting with the U.S. government. They've been meeting with him, a whole bunch of people over here.
Well, you going to know is when you see that first, and look, I ain't even going to say the name. When you see that first Alphabet Boy parade out there, that's when you know Africa is over. I'm just going to tell you, say it like it is. Yeah. When they had the first Alphabet Boy parade out there, Africa is over. It's done for. So Africa has this time limit where it could be this magical place that we go over there, we build, we help create infrastructure, we do business, right? We use our influence, our knowledge to go over there, help build, do trade, operation, right? And Africa has an opportunity to be a great future. We talking about Ghana, Rwanda, Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, right? These are some of the places that we're starting to see growth and advancement all throughout Africa. This has the opportunity to be amazing, right? But it's going to be on them to step their game up right now. You know, if you want to act like, you know, everything is happening to you instead of you have this advancement, but that can't happen until there's a level of education and exposure that happens as well in Africa. So it's like, I love the idea of going to Africa, and I plan on going to Africa. Africa needs better media coverage. Yeah. Nobody's in Africa is deciding to do that or have done that so far. So I think it's going to require somebody else to do that, right? People around the world look at Black Americans as saviors because we have the ability to speak outward better than anybody else. And French is a socialism. They can't speak out like that.
Speak out against,
the UK, they can't speak out like that. Not America. I'm about their own governmental structure, right? The Africans, there's not too many of them standing up. They're afraid of a military-ran regime. They're afraid of a political-ran regime. So there has to be so much infrastructure changes that happen before these countries in Africa are ready. And what they can do is take a page out of Dubai.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Take a change out of Qatar. And I know that they got all that money over there, yeah. But the problem that I always hear about Africa is, listen, we didn't have the money to start the mines and they had the money. And
yeah, I've been saying Dubai build whole tech cities.
It's serious right now. The revolution either has to happen now or never. That's it. That's the way I look at it. And I don't want to say all these things in a nuance because there's so much more to the conversation as well. But I just want to put that on y'all energy. Like, it's a time for now or never. You feel me? And the thing about Africa is that's an African problem. Everybody else that will help is bonus. I just want to say that, right? Specifically, like when Americans go over there and we do business, some of those Americans are Western. They have a Western moral system. They have a capitalist mindset and construct that comes along with them. So some of them, they may look like us, but in reality, they think like this, right? And they think for this. So there's a danger of over-romanticizing the idea of Africa without having a realistic plan and operation to really organize and elevate Africa in a righteous manner.
So while you were overseas or whatnot for the past week and a half,
yeah,
there's been a lot going on in America. Now, I don't know if you all been following political news, but Donald Trump has been fined $350 million and has been banned for doing business in New York for 3 years. Now, this ban has come from his decision stems from legal proceedings that scrutinize his business practices or whatnot. But this ban will put a halt to his expansion. You know, everybody know the Trump Tower is in New York. He got a lot of real estate out there. But without him doing business out there, that'll slow him down financially. This is another form of political warfare, if you ask me, because you know he's running for president and he's obviously in the lead right now. What do you think is gonna be the backlash behind this?
Man, it's just all out war. It's funny because Kevin O'Leary says that he thinks it's a travesty. You know what I mean? He believed that it was a mistake for them to do that. Basically, he said that, you know, he pushed a higher valuation on his real estate, right, for his billionaire status. Kevin, bruh, if Trump was found guilty on this, every real estate investor in the world should be found guilty on this. And he's saying basically he's not going to be doing no business in New York. Because essentially what happened is that they just went at him and they found anything that they could do in order to get him. So I feel like the charges was most likely some bogus stuff that they got him on, but they hitting with the whole playbook that they got. You know, what this is doing, though, at the same time, what they doing is they going after his war chest because now the prosecutor is making him fork up that $400 million bill. You feel me? Otherwise, she talking about seizing Trump Tower. So you see Trump out there dropping golden shoes. He talking about doing sales of the Truth Mobile,
and
which
using
is
his
supposed to be
celebrity
valued
status to
at
get it all done.
$4 billion. Not just celebrity status. He using goddamn. They're pushing him to this omnipotent figure in the eyes of a lot of his fan base and his followers, right, and his constituents that love him, right. So, yeah. You know, a lot of people bought the shoe, and number one, if we really being honest, it was a smart move for people who bought it because the resale value is high. Here's the thing, whether you like Trump or not, if you think about history and memorabilia, there's probably no more historical item that I can think of in the last decades more valuable than that one, right? In the midst of him, you know what I mean, going at war, right?
Because he lost the shoe the next day.
He put out this golden shoe. So this funny looking golden shoe, right? Yeah. Like the first time this has been done in history, a president that, you know, is in a peculiar situation such as Donald Trump puts out this shoe at this time, and then some people, I believe they even got them signed signature shoes. You feel me? How much would that be worth in history throughout time? It is a marker in time throughout history, and I believe it was only 1,000 of them. Yeah. So, those who bought the shoe, here's the thing about Democrats and Republicans. Democrats don't never want to look. I look at things for what they are logically, right? Coming to a conclusive ending just to see things as an analyst. Man, it was whoever bought them shoes was smart as hell. There's people already reselling them for $9,000 plus more, right? Get that shoe another 10 years, how much you think it's going to be worth, right? If I had the opportunity, I would have bought a couple of pair. I wouldn't have worn them. But it's like you talk about sneaker collectors, they sell shoes that's worth money all the time. Back to the Future shoe, right? We living in Back to the Future right now. But that shoe right now, the Marty McFly's, easily selling.
Man, Trump got a lot going on. He fighting Rico in Atlanta. He trying to get the DA, what's her name, Fannie Willis, kicked off the whole case. It's looking good for him on that. To me, like, I think she might get kicked off.
He gonna have to keep fighting back so he can keep his money, because that's the whole thing. If you watch the show Billions, the white dude that was running for president, Mike Pence, funny enough, his name Mike Pence. They went after his money in order to stop him, because they basically made him this figure whose moral construct was equivalent to the way that the Democrats look at Donald Trump. And the only way to stop him, they felt, was to go after his money. So this is what they doing right now. They've tried every single thing in the book. I'm not gonna lie, his team got a fight on his hands because they've been going. And this is probably the one thing that you hear somebody money, it's over. You feel me? So he gotta throw another punch in the ring. He will have to get him a war chest from somebody. He got Nikki Haley out there gunning for his spot. Donald Trump is like, not Donald Trump, but Joe Biden is the worst candidate ever. But it is what it is. They're not going to push anybody else. Right now, you seeing, calls for Kamala Harris to step it up and be out there and campaign and fight a little harder. She was locking up a lot of black men as a DA, and a lot of people got to hear her voice like, yo, you actually know how to fight a case, you feel me, and present a case. You need to be presenting a case for Biden, you feel me, but we ain't getting that from her, you feel me?
Right.
We seeing the issues that they trying to do the ceasefire, and America blocking it all, right? So you got which puts the protesters, not protesters, but the activists in a precarious situation where on one end they got to hold accountable, and on the same end they got to say why we hold them accountable, still vote for them no matter what.
Right.
Because here's the thing, why you can't hold a party accountable that you're going to vote for no matter what, right? Because they don't have to do anything to get your vote. All they have to do is say, hey, even if we don't do it, you still go vote for us, right? Why? Because that's your other option. We haven't got smart enough to mobilize, organize to a different party, to hold a vote, to even fake it out for a moment. You feel me? We just let them know all our cards on the table. You know what I'm saying? We play our trump card first. Oh, we just go give you the vote. So a lot of black people are like, nah, not this time. Right? I had Isaac Hayes. He added me on a post about
Isaac Hayes?
Yeah, Isaac Hayes, founder of Fanbase. He added me on this post about voting, because I put out that post with the Key and Peele skit about voting, and I be making a joke out of it, right? And people be coming at me and mad at me. So it was a post about Hartsfield, the guy who they named the airport after, Hartsfield, like 30 years ago, talking about Atlantis will be a black city because of the vote. And he was like, well, they wouldn't have said this if voting didn't matter. I'm like, first of all, brother, you're not mad at me. Right. You mad at Joe Biden. I'm not stopping nobody from voting. The reason that black people think about actively deciding to go Republican this time is not because something 19 Keys said, not because no other influencer on the internet said. It's because they believe that the Democrats have done a bad job, right? Whether they've actually done something and they haven't told people about it, that's still a bad job. Whether they haven't done enough to where people felt like their lives have been affected in a better way, that's a bad job. All I know is, this idea that you can shift blame on other people because we're not excited to jump into another political race, right? Where you're telling us to do the exact same thing, where the strategy is no different. It ain't my fault. You know what I'm saying? look, they got y'all by the balls, and they gonna keep y'all by the balls. I'm just not one to care. You feel me? I'm part of that. It's two sides of America, but there's also two sides of Black America. There's one side of Black America that never get invited to the table of the White House or the dinners or the awards, right? You consider to be too radical. You're not represented in their thought leadership. You're not represented in their bills or none of that. And you can have no expectation for us to play the game that y'all play, right? So until a plate is made for me, you feel me?
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. And it is what it is. And you ain't gotta like it. Cause I ain't gotta like you. You feel me? But the energy gonna be what the energy is. You not gonna get me to be on those slave plantation talking about yes, a massa. Yes, a massa. No, we don't operate like that. You feel me? So go be mad at them suckers for not doing a better job. Don't come on me, add me on no post. I don't give a damn about none of that crap. You feel me? And then when it comes to, I like a lot of Killer Mike talking points. I had a great conversation with Teslin. You know, I like their points talking about mobilization, organizing, right? I think that is key, right? Especially when you're talking about grassroots, locals, getting bills paid, all of that. I would love to get into some of those things, especially as I clear out my schedule to do more of those things. I had a conversation with the brother from New Era Detroit today. And, you know, we talked about Zeke from New Era Detroit. We talked about, you know, pushing out more on the ground campaign. You know, we really did a lot by gathering the community online. We traveled around this world. I gave money to organizations that I believe in while I was on tour. You feel me? And now it's time to get in these streets. You feel me? Even more. So we're going to run our campaign the way we want to. Y'all run y'all campaign the way you want to. If you believe in that voting and hoping and waiting until they hang you by a rope or give you rope, that's up to you. But for me, I don't build with those who come from the EUROP.
I like that. I like what you said. You say it's two sides of Black America, right? And let's focus on the side that don't get invited to the table. So as far as black men, I want to name the top 6 causes of death for black men. And then I got a question I'm going to propose to you at the end. So number 1 coming in cause of death is heart disease. Then you got cancer at number 2. Then you got unintentional injuries such as an accident. Then as number 4, you got strokes. And number 5, you got diabetes. And if you notice, I didn't mention homicides. That come in as number 6. But my thing is, right, with all of these things that's detrimental to black men and whatnot, how come ain't none of us the face of a campaign to fight it?
Because they don't care about black men. It's that simple. None of them do. That's why, you know, when we now do our campaigns, we get to be selfish about it, because if black men rise, then we can take care of everything else, right? So I don't care about none of that other crap that they be pushing. Yeah. You know what I mean? If diversity, equity, and inclusion don't actually include black men, specifically my type of black man, you know what I mean? Ones that get to stand up, speak truth, be solid, move masculine, you feel me, with knowledge of self, man, it don't matter to me. That system ain't my system. You feel me? I know we the top. We the cream of the crop. We the top standards. Y'all can keep that felonious, fake soy boy masculinity that y'all want to parade around as this new standard because y'all like the zestified version of it. We not operating with none of that. Yeah. You feel me? And that's another thing. Stop eating the soy. All of these fake vegan restaurants that's selling y'all all of these soy, they have you growing this breast, growing this stomach, putting on all this water weight, acting extra emotional. It's messing y'all up. Your energy not right. You ain't got no clarity in the mind. Your testosterone is low. It makes no goddamn sense. So you got to stop eating the soy, man. It's turning you into, you feel me? You got to get your energy right. People always talk about Atlanta, and Atlanta, I love Atlanta. But Atlanta got a zestification problem, right? And until the zestification problem is solved, right, then Atlanta cannot be the Mecca for black America. That's the way I look at it, right? There's so many things that has to happen in order for us to really, when we really talk about creating that Mecca and we really start about doing it right, it has to be done in a way to where we really speak truth and celebrate the truth in the matter. You feel me? Like, really speak that truth. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know ain't no army coming out of there. Y'all know ain't no real power being shifted in black America because the dynamics of black America is inversed. The strong is not at the top. The weak is at the top with the loudest voice, right? We don't, listen, I don't believe in this world where it's being ran by these black masculine women. No, that's supposed to be our job. The only reason they have to be put in these positions is because we not doing our job. And it's making them sick as well. Why you think there's so much cancer being caused up in them? There are so many successful, unhappy black women in this world because they're successful at the white man's world. But they're losing in God's world. They don't feel happy. They're alone in their estate. So what are we talking about? That just means that I'm talking to my brothers out there. That means that we got to take over. The black mental health crisis is at all-time high, right? People can't think straight. They ain't got no clarity, can't get their thoughts right, right? Yeah. We always distracted, right? Entertainment tames a man. So we constantly looking for our pleasures because we live in a world that's not ours. We walk outside and don't own these buildings. So we not happy, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? But, and as we are at this war, these self-wars that we have to go through daily, every single dang day, the pressure is on you, it's on you, it's on you, it's on you, it's on you. You feel me? So we see a lot of black men find themselves in these circles to where they feel like, oh, if I go along to get along, then I could be along with these people. I'm involved in something. That's the same thing that happened with the gangs, the same thing that's happened with these political parties, same thing that's happened with these zesty parties, the same thing that happened in these thought spheres that people are adding into in these ciphers because they're forcing you to go along. That's not what you truly believe, because when you sit back and you have those conversations with me behind the scenes, he be like, yeah, you're right, Keys. No, black men really think in a very strong manner, right? And no, we not a one type of thinker, you feel me? But when it comes to it, everybody respect Malcolm X for a reason. Speaking of, they got new evidence coming out in those cases with the witnesses and everything because the government was the one sniped them. The strong ones get sniped down. So they make us afraid to be one of the strong ones because we don't want to be the ones targeted again. We know what's going on, and what does that do, man? That causes cancer in us. That causes stress in us. You know what I'm saying? That causes the high blood pressure, man. It make us pissed. Poverty-induced stress and trauma, right? Man, it's so many causations to where our nervous system never gets to be in relaxation and never gets to have peace. So if that's not something that we challenging in this order, in this day and time, then I don't care, because I know we gods. I know what our genes is. I know what our energy is. I know what's going on across this planet Earth. You feel me? Like, so it ain't nothing that y'all gonna give me in no political order in no day. It ain't nothing y'all gonna throw me in no Kamala who has a Jewish husband. No, I can't believe love black men, right? You can't tell me that I believe Osama, whatever her name is, love black men, or some of these other women that are in these political positions, but they don't have black men, right? I just can't trust it. It is what it is. And I'm talking about marriage, right? I'm talking about who they decide to be with, right? It is what it is. I can't believe that you have the empathy for us if you're not with us. And I mean with us in a literal sense. So I think that when we think about these things, y'all don't ever want to really hear a strong black man's thought. Y'all only want to hear when he echoes your thoughts out of his mouth.
Yeah, man, somebody tried to tell me with black women having a high percentage of graduating college and black men having a high percentage of getting incarcerated, how are the smartest women on the planet raising thugs and criminals? I say, man, first off, you can't put that blame on the woman at all. Because men, like, once you reach adolescent years, everything that you do at that point, you go figure out on your own without anybody telling you what to do. Or you try to figure out the news. And we got it, and like you said, black men, it's time for us to step it up. We supposed to be having those positions. So you can't be mad if it is a woman who's taking care of the home or whatnot. Because shit, that's what we supposed to be doing, you know? And something else happened this week or whatnot, the Super Bowl. We're going to switch it over to sports right now, but I ain't get a chance to watch the Super Bowl. I never watch sports or whatnot. I usually watch the halftime show, but I didn't even watch this one. But I did see a clip of Usher online or whatnot being a little, in my eyes, he was inappropriate or whatnot. In my eyes, personally, because I feel like first off, you know Alicia Keys married. Everybody knows she married. She got a husband. He's actually at the game with her. And I seen Usher get behind her and like hug her in a like inappropriate manner. Then he go on the Breakfast Club and he say him and Swiss Beats laughed about it. He said he don't see what people took inappropriate from that performance. They was having fun, reminiscing on the old song they did. My thoughts is, I want to ask you this. Like, do you feel like she was out of line and she should have said something publicly? Or do you think Usher was out of line for even, you know, getting behind her like that?
Hey, man. Hey, man. It is what it is, man. I don't think no man in the world. Usher told you a long time ago. Only you grab around me, true player for real. That's Jabril. Hey, listen.
I mean, he ain't say nothing about no Jabril.
That's what he said, man. That's what I always heard on the remix. I'm just going, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Nothing, you can't take back that hug. Once she got hugged in front of the whole world by the Usher thug, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Listen,
over. Like,
here's the thing.
Once Usher get in the mix, you might as well break up.
I think Swiss a good dude. I just saying that there's no man that wants Usher, sweaty self, hugging on this girl. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm just that's just a fact. There's no man that wants Usher hugging up on his girl. I'm talking about a real man. I ain't talking about the zestified man. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about there's no real man that want his sweaty self like all up on the little. Nah, we don't want none of that. Like, back up, homie.
Yeah. He do this shit often too.
Now they entertainers, so Swiss may have took it smooth like that, or he may have. I don't know, but Swiss, from what I hear, ain't nobody play with. You feel me? But I think he might have took it as entertainment because they had an entertainment industry, and sometimes things gotta get a little extra flowy moly. Yeah. You feel me? That ain't my motion. I'm just saying, but I can tell you this: ain't no man want that to happen. No man wants that to happen, but he may not want it.
It's still disrespectful, though. You know, it's hella disrespectful.
For sure.
Not just.
What would you have done?
First off, it wouldn't have happened to me. You know,
no, I ain't asked you that. Like, it would have happened to you too.
It wouldn't have happened to me, you know, because like if I tell you to go see Usher, you just can't touch Usher.
No. Usher touched her.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I'd have been pissed about it. It'd have been like we would have had a problem. Like for sure. It might have got physical. You never know. But it's the Super Bowl, so you know, and I know they got endorsements and brands, so it's a lot of shit that they can't do. But I'm pretty sure Swiss Beats felt the type of way, you know. Like, that's just common sense. But Usher, man, you out of line, man. You need to, like, quit messing with, man. He always picking up women that's in relationships, too. Mm-hmm. Like, go get a girl that's single with somebody.
But see, he knew this is going to keep everybody talking. So he said, oh, you think I'm not going to have a Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson pull out the moment? He created that moment on purpose. The man is a mastermind, man. Usher is a menace of all menaces. Yeah. There's only one thing to do. And he told you, keep your girl away from me. True player for real.
I like Usher music, though, but
there's only one thing.
When he performs,
it's only one right thing to do. If I was to take my girl and we went to go see Usher, you just got to relax. Because there's some people that just don't play like that. Right? Yeah. And so
what would you do?
What you mean? What you should be on during or after?
No, during.
Nothing you can do during. That's the Super Bowl,
okay, so
brother.
after.
After. 7 o'clock on the dot. He getting popped. For messing with me. Dun, dun, dun,
hey,
dun.
So look, since we talking about music,
play
right,
with me like that.
Earlier you had said, once they come for your money, you done, right? And I don't agree with it at all. Because you got my brother Kanye West, right? He just dropped the album. And the album is a good album. I'm actually surprised by the album with Ty Dolla $ign and whatnot. Ty Dolla $ign did what he was supposed to do. He came through, he delivered. Every song, no skips. I fuck with the new album Vultures or whatnot. But my thing I want to talk about is Kanye is a marketing genius. He had the Yeezy website. He dropped the album independently. They tried to kick him off all the platforms. He still went #1 in 100 different countries. He also did a Yeezy sale where he put every item on the website for $20. Ended up making $19 million in one day.
Yeah, smart man.
You know what I'm saying? So when I say, like, when they come after your money, yeah, it couldn't be over for some people, but Kanye just one of them spirits just to show people, like, man, that's bullshit. He say headlines. They thought headlines was his kryptonite, but he's still the king. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Kanye West just uncanceled. He just broke the whole cancellation stuff, and a lot of people been doing it, man. You know, shout out to Nick Cannon. I believe I inspired his new show, Cancel Culture, not Council Culture. You know, I believe I inspired that when B. Simone was getting canceled, and I said that, and it went viral a little bit, and he seen that, and he tweeted that and picked it up, whatever. But, I think that's where we at right now.
Yeah.
No society, you cannot be a part of a society that doesn't have space for redemption, right? And not even just space for it, but doesn't have a steps for redemption, right? If there is no way to be redeemed and for redemption, then what is the point, right? Like, that's not how we operate. Like, if that's the case, everybody should be canceled. Everybody done did something.
Shit,
I mean, everybody.
did something.
Go show me a pure person that's perfect that shouldn't be canceled. You just don't know about their flaws.
Me.
You know what I'm saying? Relax. You would have been canceled.
They would have canceled me in 2004.
But it is what it is. It's like that whole idea of canceling, and plus the reason Kanye West is working so well because of what's happening in Gaza. The people just don't care about that whole, ADL label that they put on people and be calling them anti-Semite. You feel me? That's not what they care about, because the people are on the side against the Zionists at this moment. You feel me? Because they see what's happening over there with the Geno, with the people.
Yeah.
So I think that, Kanye West, if he continues to be calculated, he continues to have his mind on where it is right now, I think we can constantly see that bill reach, and he can constantly have elevation. You feel me? I shout out to him. That 19 million, it represents something. That number 19 always worked. Yeah. But, what he did with the shoe, I talked about this beforehand. I predicted it always that he was still a billionaire, because the $1 billion valuation was based on what the deal was worth, but the deal was only worth something because he Kanye West. Yeah. So he never stopped being Kanye West. He did a deal with himself, and now he's sitting down with the president of Adidas. He came back. How you go counsel Jesus? The man called himself the new Jesus. Now, is he Jesus? No, he's not the Jesus. But the man is very messianic energy, the way he prophesizes a thing, and then it comes true within his own life. He calls himself Yeezus and Ye for a reason. Y'all better pay attention, because the black guys is outside.
Did you hear the album?
Yeah, I heard the album.
What song you rocking with on the album?
Oh, man, what's the one? Hold on. What's the one?
Yeah, he had a few vibes on this one. Like, I like the melodies that he had on it. I even like how he brought the guy from Jodeci, KC, back, help him get a little check in 2024 real quick. But Kanye had some joints on this album for sure.
I don't know the names of them joints. I don't never know the names of the joints, though. I ain't like you. You be looking at the lyrics and stuff.
Bro, you listen to Beyonce and shit, bro. Like, stop it.
I haven't, but I would listen to that country song. You know what? I was somewhere and Beyonce was playing, and it was a vibe. I grew up in a household where my household was a little different than yours. We had mostly men in the household, so I didn't grow up super feminine. So, I mostly listened to a lot of hip hop growing up. I didn't get to listen to a lot of R&B and things of that nature.
So you do it now?
No, I still don't, but I'm open to it. I like Afro beats now, though. I like the Amapiano, you feel me? I like the South African, I like the African music right now, man, because the Africans got the vibes going. They curating the vibes heavily. Yeah. You feel me? I think hip hop is gonna be all right. I think we gonna see J. Cole drop an album soon. Killer Mike, he won his album, and a lot of the youngsters is figuring out that real rap still matters. You feel me? Especially after listening to it and not just hating. I think it's real. I think it's good. You feel me? I think now if you put out a good album, people will actually listen to it for the album and not the numbers. And I think that that's one of the things that will create the shift in music. Like, forget the numbers. Nobody care how much you sold. Like, how much energy was put into it. What is it? What's the taste level in it? What is it artistically? You feel me? How was you able to compose this album, in a way that made people feel something? I think that what matters now.
All right, we're talking about R&B. I seen a study that shows that sad songs taps into the chaos of dating or whatnot. And if you notice, like, all of the songs that just been winning the Grammys and the awards, they've been all like toxic songs. And that's what's being pushed in the R&B right now. Do you agree with that? That the R&B music bring out the chaos in the relationship? Nowadays, the music that you hear on the radio,
I wouldn't say the chaos in it. I was listening to, who was I listening to? It was, I think it was Jill Scott. Maybe it was Jill Scott. but she was just talking about how much she loved her black man. It might have been her and DRE, somebody. She was just, the whole song was just like this infatuation. You know what I mean? Was just how much she just loved you. And I was just listening like, dang, you don't hear that no more. You know what I mean? The whole song was just like, she just loved everything about you. Your skin, your walk, your talk, your crown, your smile. You feel me? The way you call yourself 19 Keys now. Like, she was just going in.
She ain't say none of things like that. She don't even know you.
She do know me because she had my picture up throughout her whole tour. Relax, brother.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Stop the cap. But it's real, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, black women and black men, though, it's like, people, period. Like, this is this for everybody, right? We got to start making songs about how we just infatuated with each other again. You feel me? Like, just like how much we just really love each other. Like, it's just, ooh.
And I'm gonna need all these new rappers to quit taking all of the classic love songs and turning them into drill records. Y'all fucking up the music like these.
7 o'clock, right on the dot.
Yeah, like, stop it. I don't know who told y'all was getting a Grammy for that, but that ain't the way. Please quit doing that. Please quit doing it. Like, for real.
Steve, you getting married?
I told you my thing on marriage, right? Like, I don't feel like it's necessary to get married to a person. Like, if you're in love, like getting the government and all your business and all that shit. I don't feel like it's necessary. But on the flip side, if that's what the girl that I'm dating want to do, and that's what she want and her vision, I ain't opposed to it. But I don't even know, like, if I was to get married, I wouldn't have 10 people to invite, because I don't really like deal with a lot of people. I wouldn't want the whole family there, you know.
Would you date a woman that's taller than you?
Of course.
Why you laughing?
You know what? You know what I learned a long time ago? It don't matter how tall or short you is. When you lay down side by side, you the same size. I learned that a long time ago.
So I heard Ian talking about.
Oh yeah, I posted it.
I heard Ian talking about how women got to fly themselves out.
Yeah.
What you think about that? He said that now he'll take care of everything once they get over there.
Nah, I'm gonna put context behind that, because first off, Ian is a Leo, so I ain't gonna throw him under the bus. I'm a Leo, you feel me? So I'm gonna take up from my Leo brother. What he was implying was, if a woman, you know, like these women, they be wanting to get flew out or whatnot, and they doing the shit for the gram. They don't even put the guy in the video when they get on the gram and do all that. They
treat them like an old trick.
Treating them like a trick or whatnot. So what he was saying was, before I fly you out, I want to see if you will do it yourself and invest in your future with dealing with me or whatnot. Would you even come to this remote location where I'm at on your own terms? If not, if you just want to catch a vibe and a good view, you can just come to my crib. That's what he said, if you want to put it in context or whatnot. But do I agree with a woman flying herself out? It depends. It depends on y'all communication, on the foundation. So y'all could have talked about the fact that you fly yourself out and I'll take care of all the expenses once you land. I'll pay for the room, I'll pay for the food, you know, or vice versa. I pay for the flight and you pay for your own, you know. Because, you know, a lot of these men nowadays, they ain't even able to fly a woman out and take care of all of that shit, you know. So sometimes it got to be like give and take, you know, 50-50, you know. But me personally, though, have I ever flew a chick out? No. Have I ever thought about it? Yeah.
You ain't never flown? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. I think both can work. I think it depends on where you're at financially in life. You feel me? If you ain't got it, it's tricking. It's just the rules still apply. If you don't have it, it's tricking. So that rule is just 100%. So anybody that don't have it, right, then it's just tricking. Now, that's not the way I grew up whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Not in my household. Not in my older brother.
I wouldn't call it tricking all the time either.
No, it's tricking all the time.
It can be investing.
It can be no investment.
But if it's a woman like, you know, like nah, she really, y'all just in two different time zones or whatnot. But y'all been building over the phone or over the net, however y'all doing it.
If you don't have it, it's tricking.
Yeah. Are you saying if you don't have the money to fly?
Yeah, that's the rule number one. If you ain't got it like that, it's tricking.
I thought you were just saying in general flying the chick out like it's tricking now.
It's tricking. It's tricking if you don't have it. There's nothing wrong. The idea of like fly me out is something that started with like, you know what I mean, rich men. You feel me? Like this is now something that we talk about in a more popular age. But, you know, I think it was probably a custom for I don't even know how, you know, long distance relationships are more normal now because we have social media and we can communicate with people all across the planet Earth. And the person, like, if you want to see me, fly me out, right? Women basically don't spend her money on the that part of getting to know you in the dating scene, so-called nowadays. But I feel like, you know, I don't think there's nothing wrong with a woman, number one, spending money to fly herself out somewhere, especially somewhere she wants to be. Now, I think that a man can handle the accommodations, right? He can handle the date, he can handle the food, he can handle all of that. And I say that because a lot of times it'd be safer for a woman, less expectation. A man fly you out, he gonna want something, right? He fly you out, he gonna want to fly in too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna want to land that plane. You know what I'm saying?
I told my sisters don't ever let a guy fly you out.
Yeah.
And if you do decide to do that shit, you better have your money for the flight.
Yeah.
Like there and back.
Yeah.
Like have
Like,
your own money.
I mean, you gotta know that if he fly you out, he buying condoms too with that.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's the expectation. Now you can say you shouldn't expect this, that, or the third, but we live in America. We live in this world of 2024. That is a reality. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now that's not always 100%, but that's the game that people are out here playing. So I don't think you should be doing that. You feel me? Number one, I think it don't even make financial sense right now. Yeah. And I think that, you know, you got to curtail what you out here moving with. You got to learn some real game. And if you really want to learn some real game, I can give you some. You feel me? Because a lot of y'all is getting put in the friend zone, never go get into the end zone because she don't even see you as somebody she want to be with. You feel me? She sees somebody that's maybe a 1 to 3 month situation. You feel me? You might be, and then I'm gonna tell you something that they ain't gonna never tell you, right? A man gotta have dark traits and he gotta have light traits. If you got all your, if she see you as somebody, oh, you nice, you're righteous brother, you smart, right? You cool, that's a homeboy. That ain't nobody I'm just being honest. In her mind, she classify you instantly. That's a homeboy. You feel me? Because
you too nice.
Yeah. You gotta have on traits where, and if I'm being honest with you, and this is whether I'm talking about for a woman to see you as a husband as well, right? Like a husband got to be a protector, got to be a provider. He got to have bravado. He got to have some ego. You feel me? Like he got to have some of them traits. You feel me? To where she look at him and be like, oh, I'm attracted to him. You feel me? That she gonna want to take you home and want to be with you, and she can be like, you know what? That's not enough to have her to look at you as like a husband. You feel me? She gotta want to be out with you in public, be seen with you. Yeah. You feel me? You gotta definitely have some money.
Gotta match my flat.
Yeah, if you ain't got no money, it's gonna be a little harder for you unless you find one of them pure souls that, you know, she want to live in a shack with you.
Yeah. Let's tap back into this Ian Dunlap.
No, this the same conversation.
Look, now check this out, right?
I'm trying to give y'all some games.
This some free game for the fellas, right? You gotta be careful with these women that you fly out to. Cause I seen a video yesterday, actually, a guy, I guess he been investing his time or whatnot into this girl. So he, for Valentine's Day, he flew her out to him or whatnot, bought her a whole bunch of gifts from the Louis store or whatnot, went and spent all his money with the white people. And he had $40,000 to invest into her business she wanted to do lashes. So he was gonna give her $40,000 cash. So they end up kicking it or whatnot at the hotel or whatnot. She go to sleep, but her phone keep pinging. Like he's steady going off. So he was like, shit, I'm gonna look at this. He ended up sending a message from her friend saying, hurry up and get the nigga out his money and come on, let's go. So her plan the whole time was to finesse him out of his money, have him thinking that she like him or whatnot, and then when he go to sleep or got his guards down, she was gonna take all the possessions or whatnot and leave the room. But she ended up falling asleep before him. So my thing is, guys, you gotta be careful and know what you're dealing with. So on Ian's behalf, if a woman did fly out to you, she might not be on the type of time that the old girl was on, you know, because she invested her hard put money on into experiencing this time with you as well. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that I think that what you gotta understand is that it's a lot of broke women out here, and it's a lot of broke men out here. And when a person is broke, they're desperate, right? And you put yourself in harm's way. I don't trust people, enough to just allow them in my space like that. You feel me? I always got to keep an eye on people, things of that nature. When you young and you green, you feel me? And you out there just flaunting it, somebody gonna want to take advantage of you. These women are gamed up tighter than these men out here today. These men don't know how to move. You know what I mean? These women are still getting the game on how to scheme and scam and, you feel me, take everything from you. And so a lot of these men, they probably got a lot of these stories that they'd never tell, Steve. They'd never tell you that they was taken advantage of. You feel me? They'd never tell you that they was robbed. They'd never tell you that it flew out and it didn't go the right way. You feel me? So these women out here, they hustlers. These women out here are more masculine now. These women out here is gangster. You feel me? So if you ain't getting that game, if you ain't getting that knowledge on how to move as a man in this world, you supposed to be taken advantage of so that it can teach you a lesson. Right? So you'll be happy that you just got robbed and you got that lesson so it never happens again. This is how a lot of men learn, because they got to learn through that experience. You ain't got an older brother, an uncle, right? Somebody to give you some real game. You got to learn through a harsh experience. Then you know what not to do again. You know not to be so eager and so green and so innocent and moving like that. Because a woman ain't going to never love a man that she could take advantage of anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because she can't trust you because she know that somebody else can take advantage of you in the same way. How you going to protect her from being taken advantage of if you can't protect yourself? So a man that can recognize game to where a woman can't run game on him, she gonna love and respect him because she know he gamed up. She know he know how to move. Like, he ain't running certain things on me. I'm intuitively, intellectually, masterfully, you know what I'm saying, tuned up the right way. So it's like a lot of men, hey, I ain't telling no women to go out there and I ain't trying to provoke this to happen to you, but I'm saying sooner the better so it don't happen later and greater.
I got two more topics and whatnot. I'm going to talk about the good brother Floyd Mayweather. He actually had the best response that I've seen on the internet when it comes to the Diddy situation and whatnot. So I forgot the name of the podcast he was on, but they asked him something about Diddy, and he say it's not his place to talk about that man's business. That's Diddy business or whatnot. He say he don't agree with it. He don't condone it. However, he not gonna kick a man while he down, specifically a black man while he down, especially on the internet. So I want to. Do you agree with that, or do you feel like shit, you gotta call your friends out when they do sucker shit, or even if you don't know if it's the facts of the matter, but just by it being presented, you call your friends out, or do you do it privately, or is the internet a safe space?
No, you don't do it on the internet.
Yeah, facts.
Talking about the internet, the internet, man. You calling me out on the internet? That's just war. But here's the thing: is that it's not real if you doing it after it already happened. If you a person that's on record being like, yo, stop doing this, stop doing that. Not after the world gets it, it's a world headline, you're sued, the world comes at you. You know what I mean? That ain't real. That's clout chasing. That's you just being a part of the train, you feel me, to kick a man while he's down. That is what that reality of it is. I don't get no benefit from seeing a black man go down, right? Once he goes down for whatever he did, that the law did its job, karma did its job, whatever did its job, that's not my responsibility to go further and then try to, profit off of a person's downfall. Why? Because black men are triggered anytime we see a black man fall in America. Because black men that fell in America, whether they're guilty or innocent, right? And it triggers a trauma in us because we always think that we're going to be next, right? Whether you innocent or guilty. Because you got to remember, a black man in America is always guilty until proven innocent. And even after he's innocent, right?
He still
and
get
acquitted,
treated like
he
he's
still
guilty.
get treated like he's guilty.
Yeah.
So it's a sensitive topic for a lot of black men. So a lot of black men just stay away from it a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
So this is the history that comes along with that trauma being triggered. Because even if you go back into the slave days when the slave was getting beat, sometimes the other slaves would start laughing, not because they truly was, finding it amusing, because this is how they responded to the trauma, feeling like they gonna be next. Right? And so, and I'm Lennox Lewis Farrakhan said, when you see men fall, don't laugh, learn.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the way I like to operate with it. Now, some things do got to be called out, right? But you be the one to call it out. Don't let the world call it out and then you there to just back it up.
Facts.
You feel me? Like, it only matters to me, and it's only honorable if you the first person that's like, all right, I'm going to go out there and be the one to speak on this. Or, if something happened in private, check it privately. Right? Something happen publicly, check it publicly. Those are the rules of the game that we was taught. Those are laws and code ethics you got to live by. Otherwise, it's wild, wild west out here.
Well, in lighter news, let's switch it over to tech or AI or whatnot. So I seen OpenAI is they the inventors of ChatGPT or whatnot. But they launched a new feature. It's not available to the public yet. For right now, it's only available to designers and people who producers who do movies or whatnot. But this feature is a text to video feature. And what it do is you can type in a prompt and it'll generate an entire video for you. They look realistic. Now I've seen some of the videos and whatnot, and I feel like this right here, real game changer. I was just thinking about like shit, how we film high level conversations, and sometimes we be needing B-roll. And if we talking about some ancient Egyptian shit, they ain't really got the black people on there in the B-roll that we need for this specific scene. But this new this new feature called Sora, we'll be able to do everything we think of. Like literally.
Man, Sora is going to allow people to create endless movies.
Yeah.
I don't think people really paying attention what's going on right now. Everybody should be using AI an hour a day at least and constantly updating themselves on these tools. Right now, they only release Sora to a limited amount of people, right? OpenAI founder already said he's trying to raise $7 trillion. You see, NVIDIA has just popped off like its crypto is skyrocketing because the supply and demand for these AI chips that they need to continue to keep running these services for these new AI things and that they've constantly innovating on is going to keep that thing booming. Yeah. But when you're talking about Sora, not only is Sora, but they also have one where it's text to video, but the video got to come with what, Steve? Got to come with sound. So now you got the text to sound as well. One of the biggest differentiations between like quality shows, right, is being able to have that sound quality, right? So now you can create a whole movie off a script that you come up with, right? And you can put sound to it instantly, right? So what is this going to, it's going to create a boom industry. I mean, a huge industry. Yeah. Everybody is going to be on the same tier of what they can create, but how you create is going to make the difference. But here's the thing. Artistic tools have been around for a very long time, but everybody don't use them. So the goal now is for you to get into the AI so that you can create your agency, so you can get into automation, so you can have AI for income, so you can have AI supremacy and become future-proof. Those are the things that we're going to be teaching so that people can actually get the skills. Yeah. They're very valuable skills today. How do you create AI and utilize it to actually make money? How do you make it to where you can replace yourself, but you don't be replaced? Right? To where, how do you do it to where you can create a digital version of yourself where you can do more than just one thing because you can be at multiple places at once? They got AIs to where you can send personalized videos saying a person's name in the video, right? Yeah. Through an email. Right? So now you're talking about personalized marketing to where you can get earned impressions to where you can get greater conversions. So there's so many different ways to utilize AI. It's going to change the game. I'm talking about making movies, comic books, any and everything you can possibly think of. Yeah. But you want to be early on this game, so you want to put in your hours now. And now is the time to learn. So we actually going to be doing something that, I'm going to be lacing out really soon. Just make sure y'all follow the broadcast channel when it comes to that. But Sora is a big deal. And I really want to, I'm about to start going hard at really teaching technology and AI and everything again. AI crypto is booming, right? AI stocks are booming. And there's too much money to be missing out, to be wasting it just on entertainment and gossip and BS in the culture. Because when it happens, what did they just announce? Elon Musk, Neuralink in the brain. The brain is allowing him to be able to move a mouse.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The game done changed. The future is here and it ain't going nowhere. So you have to become technologically savant, right? Advanced so you can optimize and become more effective. What's my formula? AI plus NI equals EI. You know what I mean? Artificial intelligence plus natural intelligence equals enhanced intelligence. So if you want to enhance your business, you want to enhance your income, you want to enhance your intelligence, we use the tools all day long. Editing, videos, B-roll, email, setting up lists, creating videos. We got so many different tools. We can help show you how to create an agency to where not only you can use the tools, but once you learn it, you can now get you clients so you can get paid for it and you can start automating their businesses and automating your business and start making money on the fly. But this is going to be an infinite money hack. Because when you're able to just constantly create content and content and content and content and content, but here's the thing, if you can't create a community to go along with that content, you won't get eyeballs for the stuff that you put out there, right? So everybody was focused on, throwing out all this marketing on the wall and see if it stick. The whole thing was create community, right? The goal ain't no longer to just go out there. If you want to talk about marketing, goal ain't go out there to just go get more people to follow you. The goal is to focus on those who are already here. Right? Give them more value, tighten up the community, have greater conversations, have rollout plans, figure out how you can create more value with them because influence the economy ain't going nowhere because that's a distribution channel for all of this AI, for everything, right? There's definitely going to be a company that was going to be created by one founder, one man, or one woman that utilized AI and create $1 billion business. Sam talked about this and I believe him, right? He probably going to have people working for them, half of them gonna be robots, it's gonna be automated, it's gonna be super niched, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be out there making billions of dollars. And you gonna be like, well, damn, how did they able to do it? This is a conspiracy. No, it's execution. Make sure y'all text that my number. Make sure y'all go to the broadcast channel. Make sure y'all a part of it. Huh? No, we ain't talking about that. You got any more questions?
I don't. Do you got any more questions?
Question, brother. I don't question God's plan. I don't question God's plan.
Well, my question is, what are you doing with Allies Time? That's my favorite question I learned.
Hey, make sure y'all like and subscribe and send it to somebody that need to be tapped in. On the next one, man, I'm giving out. I'm gonna lace y'all with the game that y'all been waiting on, man. I'm gonna tell y'all all of the steps you need, especially my fellas out there. You need to be a high level man. You feel me? We gonna get y'all right, ladies. I know y'all been waiting on me to do this. So I got you. Don't even worry about it. I know y'all tired of dealing with what y'all been dealing with. We gonna give y'all some upgrades out there.
And on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Man to Man podcast. Welcome back to America, Mr. 19 Keys. And we will be back next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also, y'all can drop comments on different topics y'all want us to discuss in the comment section as well. We appreciate y'all.